Hello, hello. Welcome to the live. If you can you like and share? Today we're going to be talking about why should we be spiritual. This is Spiritual Live, and that's going to be the topic for today. Why should we be spiritual? That's going to be what we're going to talk about tonight. Wait for people to show up. Might take a bit. That's what tonight's topic's going to be about. What does oh man, I forgot the topic. Oh my goodness, my brain. Why should we be spiritual? That's the topic. Yes, that's what it is. Why should we be spiritual? That's the topic for tonight. We're just waiting for people to come in. If you can you like and share? That would be very helpful and appreciated. Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff if you can. Every bit helps. We're going to be talking about why should anyone be spiritual? That's the topic. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Seems my energy's all over the place and I don't know why. I'm being erratic today, I don't know why. I think I've had too many uploads today because I've been doing so many different abilities and I'm not used to, so this has been going on all day, so I might be a little off, but that's okay. I hope it's alright. We're going to be talking why should anybody be spiritual. That's going to be the topic. If you can like and share, that'd be great. Just waiting for more people to come in. Nice to see you. See some new people coming in I haven't seen before. Or they're just swiping by. Well, that's because I haven't been on this day for a long time. I usually go lives on different days. This is haven't been on lives on this day in a long time. Maybe about a year. So if you can you like, share? That'd be great. Just waiting for more people to come in. The topic is, why should anybody be spiritual? Let me contact some of these other people here. See what's going on. Hello, welcome. Can you share? Like? That'd be wonderful, thank you. Today's topic is, why should anybody be spiritual? Hopefully we can stay on topic today. Even though we always take the roundabout way, we still get back to the topic and it all relates to the same thing. We have wonderful time. This is a safe space for people that want to discuss their paranormal, spiritual, even if it's UFOs and abductions and stuff like that. We talk about that in a safe space. And if anybody's inappropriate, they get removed. I want to keep this, you guys are the heart of the live. You guys are part of the live. A lot of people want to call it a show. It's not a show, it's a live. Or a podcast or whatever. I call this a live because you're all in a heartbeat You guys make the live possible, and through you, anything can be possible. I'm here to raise the vibration and make everybody happy, and when everybody's down, sometimes, you know, somebody needs to pick them up, and that's why we're here. To bring everybody to a peaceful resolution as a human. So if you could you hit the likes and shares? Still waiting for the rest of the people to come in. Yippity doo dah, zippity yay. Why, oh why? Well, see how today goes. Saturday was okay. It was an interesting time. Thursday was alright. Yeah, that's some pretty good lives so far. I usually post them on YouTube. I'm like 2 videos behind. So probably after tonight, I'm probably going to post them all tomorrow. Because, you know, I've had a bunch of things to do. So they'll be up on YouTube. You can go to my bio on TikTok and you could click that little YouTube button there. You either send you right to my YouTube channel, and you can watch my previous lives. And maybe they'll inspire you, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll resonate, maybe they won't. That's in how you are and how you understand and your perception of things. We're just here to make the world a better place, to raise the humanity and the love and the compassion we have for each other. We're going to share part of our lives in this live. Stories are a great way to bring people together so people can resonate and become friends and inspire each other when each other's falling. So if you could, let's keep on doing the tapping and whatever, and wait for somebody that wants to come up in the box to come up in the box. Because, you know, I think people get bored of hearing my voice. I certainly get tired of hearing my voice. It's great to see all you're here. Thank you for your tapping and your support. If anybody wants to share a story and come up, that's great, because we need guests up in this box just to make the conversation go a little bit better. That's the way we do it. We work with communication. We communicate with each other. That means I need somebody else to talk to. I know somebody down there had, with 6 people, there should be somebody with a story, somebody that has something to share. We talk about everything except for political. This is a spiritual life. Oh yeah, 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 la 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 la. Talk to myself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zippity doo dah, zippity yay. Well, I guess I'm gonna start singing if nobody's gonna, you know, come up and hit the invite. So I guess I'll start singing. Yeah, a lot of us didn't heal until we became spiritual. Well, I guess I'm gonna sing a song then. If nobody wants to come up in this box, I'm gonna start singing. Let me see, what can I sing? Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining the team. This is Spiritual Live. We're going to be talking about why should anybody be spiritual. We also talk about, thank you, Sean. We also talk about paranormal phenomenon, we talk about spiritual phenomenon, and we're talking about extraterrestrials. And we talk about our stories that we experience. Sometimes we come up with Bigfoot. You never know what comes up in this live. Sometimes you even hear voices in the background. Oh, I do not like talking to myself sometimes. Everybody goes, oh, well, you have so much to say. Well, you know, I have a lot to say, but not talking to myself. Yeah, we're still waiting on more people to come in. La, 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 la. Okay, I guess nobody wants to come up in the box. Alright, I'll start singing a song then. This is when I went to church. I used to sing this song all the time. Let's see. It goes, I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice to worship you, oh my soul, rejoice. Take joy, my King, in what you hear. May it be a sweet, sweet sound in your ear. Well, there, I sang a song. I should get something for that one. Somebody should come up on the box for that and just for the laugh of it. Come on now. Yeah, what y'all want to talk about? My topic is about, why does anybody want to be spiritual? Well, somebody has to come up here. You just got to hit the box. Come on now. I'm sure people don't want to hear me talk like this all by myself all night. Well, hello.
Hey,
Hello. What are you doing?
I'm just actually taking a moment on my back
Oh
porch at the
no,
moment.
I can hardly hear you. Let me
Can
turn
you
this
hear
up.
me now?
Oh, it's probably my phone. I hear you now. I got my ears
Okay.
on.
I'm just on my back porch right now, enjoying the nice evening.
It's one. How was your day?
It was good. It
It
was
was
good.
good. Was it great?
It was pretty good.
That's pretty good. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, it was great all things considering for being at home because I got to see my kiddo, so.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
So, did you have anything special today? My day's
Uh
special.
Well, you had the topic of why should we be spiritual? And one thing I wanted to say was is I didn't even remotely begin to heal the way I should until I became spiritual. And it was a whirlwind how my journey even started, and it started very quickly. It started with me praying, asking the divine for help. And then next thing I knew, I was being led down Dolores Canyon and Bashar, and here I am.
And what did you learn from all that?
Oh man. I've learned so much that I can't really process all of it, but the main thing I've learned is patience is a virtue. And it's something I still have to work on, but I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah. Patience is a virtue, and sometimes a lot of us don't have that because, we look to the outside world and we try to gain those patience from that, but in reality, it's us that need to look in to have those patients because they think, oh, uh, if I look at that person, I'll have patience and this and that, whatnot. You ain't gonna have patience unless you look within yourself, and sometimes you have to restrain yourself because before you do something dumb and stupid.
Very true. Very true.
And another thing is when you have patience, it's worth it because at the end of the day, the universe works in its own time, and a lot of people just want everything is here and now. Like they want a relationship here and now. They want a healing here and now. They want money here and now. It's not here and now, and it's not going to happen unless you have those patience and wait for the answer. And some people they act before the answer even comes, and then the answer comes, and they were too late to even do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. And I've learned too that, the less you expect things now, the more likely you are to actually get it now. So, or quicker at least.
Well, if you set the intent out there and you manifest it, it's gonna answer you. It's gonna answer you. It will come to you, just when you're ready.
True, like,
The
the
universe is not gonna give you more than you can handle.
well, I don't I'm true though about the answers thing.
Yeah, it's because no matter you all have a path and you all have a fate and you have a destiny. And the roadblocks that are set there is the universe trying to tell you you need to change, you need to adjust, you need to learn from this what's going on. If you're not learning and you're not progressing, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. You're stalling like a car. You're not doing anything. You want to keep moving forward, and that's why, like you said, that patience is the virtue, and the universe will answer you according to the time frame that you need it.
Right. That's one of the hardest things I've had to learn is sometimes when I think I need something, it's not when I need it, and universe knows better than I do, and
Yeah.
I'm getting better with that, but it's been hard. Been very
Another thing
hard.
too that that sometimes when you ask for things and the universe doesn't answer you right away, it's probably because you need to fix something or do it yourself or find a way to do it because you can't always rely on a spiritual being or a god to do it for you. The first movement is within yourself. In order to go forward, you must go backwards to learn and to learn to have those patience and look at everything that you went through in order to progress forward.
That's true. And for the longest time, I spent in the victim mentality. And I think that's what was holding me back. And it took a shift of perspective through listening to Doris Cannon, Bashar, Joe Dispenza to kind of shed some of that baggage and clear a lot of trauma. But yeah, that's why I think everybody should be spiritual. It's helped me tremendously.
That's wonderful that you became that spiritual person and you're learning because you're ascending. You're ascending into a higher place. You're learning more and you're not so from when I first met you till now, you have been, when I first met you, you were more like focused on one thing and straight and narrow, but now you broaden your horizons, kind of like this line on my picture. Your See how it's flowing? It looks like it's flowing energy. That's what your energy's doing.
Mhm.
It's flowing like that, and there's no roadblocks, and that's how we all should be: a flowing energy, consistently helping others, and doing the right thing. Because if we don't, we could shut that light off. See? And what do you have? Nothing. You have that nothingness. But that's why when we need to, when even when you shed your light a little, you still see something. But can you really do anything about it? No. But when you're at your full light and your full peak and brighter than ever, everybody can see that light in front of you and within sight of you, and thus that will lead you to the path you need to. I hope that that makes sense. Because
Yeah, it
the
does.
wisdom coming from my mind in the last day, I have no idea where it's coming from. Some people don't understand it lately. It's like they don't understand what I'm saying. They think I'm speaking Japanese now or something because I talk to a lot of people. They're getting confused on what I'm saying, and I'm like, but the way I think my mind is now raised into a level where to me it makes sense, but to everybody else it's not making sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having a
Yep.
hard time trying to explain it so people can understand. That's the information that I'm getting lately. It's been overflowing in my brain, and it's very hard for me to interpret it as as a spiritual person to interpret it to others. And everybody's like, "You got to become this. You got to become that." I'm just trying to become the spiritual person and to help everybody. But I think that's part of my learning process is when I get to a certain level, I have to learn how to express that and to show others, you know? And I think it's right when you talk about spirituality and why you should do it. That's a perfect example right there. You learn and grow.
Mhm. That and there's so many things that these beings have learned that we could learn from that's just so fascinating to me.
And I was sitting here, and when I first set up the live the other day, I was staring at this beam across my picture, and for some reason it was driving me crazy. I'm like, what is driving that beam? And so then I sat and I wondered, I tried everything, and then I realized it was the picture doing it. The picture creates the beam, and that picture's a dragon. So I'm here to help everybody with their energy flowing through me onto them. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of left it like that. I'm like, you know what? That is a good representation. I let my energy flow through me onto others. Let them see the light. Let them feel the light and the warmth of my light. Maybe they learn from that. That's why I kept the light. Does that make any sense? Or am I just babbling again?
No, it makes perfect sense. I get it. I like that.
Because through me, I'm just a pathway that the light is going through to go to others. I'm kind of like the gateway. Maybe everybody will see that light and they will merge with that light and become greater. Because I'm just a being in that wave of light among the others that are there. I'm just part of that source. As each one of you are a part of the source. Each one of you can change the color of that source. Positive here, not so positive, and then you can get negative with it. You control that beam, you control that light source within inside of you. What kind of light source are you going to be? You going to be that big bright one? Or you can be that small dim one that doesn't go anywhere? Thank you for the likes and the shares and the gifts. And you know, it was your name is energies. What do you see in front of you? Energy. The energy that flows through you, flows through me, flows through everybody. How we interpret that energy is on us. We can use that energy for positive, or we can use it for negative. You know? It's all in your perspective on how you look at it. We can use that energy, or we cannot use that energy. Do we want to change that energy or not? Do we want to flow with everybody else in that source of light? Or do we want to block ourselves out and be dim and just see nothing until we fade away into nothing? Some people are like this. You can see a glimmer. Almost looks like a moon. It's pretty, actually. But look, you can see movement, but it's not really moving at all. But the more and more you show yourself, you reveal to the world that the light's going through you. Anybody else that likes my analogy? Does it make sense to anybody, or am I just going crazy?
Nope, it makes sense to me.
How about you in the comments? How about anybody down there? Thank you for the gifts. Does it make sense to you in the comments? They're not coming up on my box. So my question is to everybody down in the box, down in the comments and not coming up. Do you want to be like this? Or do you want to have a little light showing? Or do you want to be that big bright light where that energy's flowing through you, more powerful than ever? What kind of light do you want to be? How do you want your soul? How do you want everybody to see you? Ever changing, continuous stream of light, or a faded light that basically stays one color, never changing? Which do you choose? In the comments, anybody? Do I have to just start picking on people? Y'all get shy. Y'all shy down in the comments now. You sure the heck weren't shy about 20 minutes ago or in half an hour. Or you weren't so shy a while ago. Y'all need something to say. Come on now. You have something to say, ma'am.
Well, you're begging us to come up in the box, so I came up in the box.
Well, you have anything to add to this conversation?
Well, healing is a big thing about spirituality. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not just it's physical, mental, emotional.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's been an ongoing life experience. It's not something new for me. Physically, you can heal yourself. When I was back in my 20s, I had heart problems. I had lots of different health problems. They tried to put me on all kinds of different medications, but when I started diving into the spirituality aspect of it, I am now medication free. I've healed myself. I don't need. I just, it's to me to have to go to a doctor. I won't do it if I don't have to. And I've learned in the process of that, and being a your intentions being strong, also during the process of the healing yourself and healing your body inside, outside, your skin, everything, that you can also, like I had said, you can reverse your aging.
Mm-hmm.
And that's worked quite well for me. And also learning the truths about things. Once you get far enough along, if you listen to your higher self, which I've learned recently through you, that's actually been talking to me my whole life, and I thought it was my imagination. But um, you learn more truths about real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You learn about all the bullshit that society is spewing to us. Um, you learn how to pull yourself out of that and be more at peace with yourself.
And how does your spirituality affect others? Is it positive or negative?
It depends on the person. For the most part, now it's positive, but um, I've noticed when I get around very negative people, they either are confrontational or they run from me. So, depending on the person.
And how do you think you can change that from being a negative to a positive?
Well, for me personally, I try to, like, if I come across, depending on the type of negativity I'm feeling, like if it's somebody that's having some emotional issues due to the fact that I'm an empath, if I can feel it's something within them, sometimes I'll just go up to them and ask them how they're doing. I'll ask them if they need any help or something like that. That's worked very well for me. But then there are others that, we'll say, cannot be helped just by that aspect because of the choices they've made. You know what I'm saying? That aren't some of them aren't even from Earth, I guess you could say.
How would one make that energy go from this to that, from this to this? How would people, if you were trying to show somebody and raise somebody higher, how would you do it?
If that person would really take the time with me, I would take him out in the woods.
Beat them up.
I would take him out in nature.
It's okay.
No, no, I'm not taking them out behind the woodshed. No, no, I would try to get them to be, I guess see what's really in nature. You know, um, I'm not the best at meditation. I would talk to them about meditation, but for me to show them, honestly, I'm not very good at that. You know that. For me, it's being one with nature,
How would one be one with?
community. I go outside, I walk around outside, I sit down in my creek and try to meditate in the water. I use crystals that I rock hound myself, that kind of stuff. I mean, I've
Yeah.
bought crystals, but
How? Alright. How would one learn
I
about.
tell them to call you.
Yeah.
They have
Well,
done it. So,
yeah. Well, you have. Um, you at first, I would tell you should maybe you should tell them about self love and loving and going within themselves. Would that be?
well, yes, yes.
What about How would they communicate with Guy? I mean, just walking outside, will that work?
There's several ways. I guess it would be individual. For me, it was walking around outside, planting flowers, stuff like that.
So, like
Um,
running your hands and feet through
I'd go
Guy.
out there and like, yeah. Sometimes I would use my crystals and create a circle
Hmm.
in the circle of flowers that I planted and try to meditate.
Should they like feel the wind? Touch the water, feel like one with the
Yes.
vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
How would one go to meditate?
Really, you're gonna go through this with me?
All right. Well, you're the only one here.
I have to meditate in water. Huh?
That's it. You're the only one here.
Um, I have to, I have to meditate in water because when I meditate, um, I see too much stuff. I get too much stuff in my head. See too many visions. I can't clear my mind. I have to slow it down to try to get so there's nothing in my head.
So you need that. We find that safe space in your mind.
Yes, I have to be, for some reason, I have to be in water, and I envision myself like by a river in the woods, usually always in the woods, and either by a creek or a lake or something with my feet in the water.
I had, let's see. I had a theory. Let's put this out there. So, with different people meditate in different ways, would that maybe correspond with what kind of being they are? Like if
Maybe.
you're an Earth, if you're more in a Gaia, that would make you more of an earthbound spirit or in something that, or one of the beings that were connected with Earth. The Earth, not Earth, I mean Earth to ground. Or would it mean like some people meditate by dancing, some meditate by water, some meditate just by sitting on grass, some meditate with candles, and some by music, and some by incense, stuff like that.
Actually, I've done all of those things myself too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was always wondering that. Some meditate on rocks. I see, I seen this one guy. I went to a spiritual retreat, and I didn't know how he did it, and I was curious. And we were talking about different forms of meditation. He says, "Come back here within an hour." And I walked around the retreat and stuff. Did I was there for a while, and he said, I went back there. He was laying on a bed of nails, meditating. I thought, what in the heck? How could you meditate on a bed of nails?
Yeah, I don't think I could. No.
Well, thank you for the gifts. But a lot of people that do things differently. Um, does it mean that they're wrong? No. It
No.
just means that they're different, right?
Right. I think there's many different ways to meditate. A lot of people say you got to sit cross-legged and sit and get into the, you know, um, pose and this and that. I've met people, some people can't do that. I know a woman that can't do that. She lays flat on her bed. As long as you keep your back straight, you know. I think each individual can figure out different ways that work for them because the same thing, everybody's different. You can't, not everybody can do it the
Yeah.
same. You
Now,
know,
I,
I've done it sitting on a rock next to a waterfall too. So, you know,
yeah.
but
Thank you for
water is
that.
consistent. I've done it sitting in front of a bonfire also.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a thing with fire. I have a thing with fire and water.
And that goes to the point of we're all different and we should have no separation because we all do these things, we just do them differently, but we're all trying to achieve this the common goal. And what is
Right.
the common goal? To be better, to be more spiritual, to be more loving and caring and helping humanity. It doesn't matter what race, what creed, what religion, just as long as you have the insight to know right from wrong and you're in that consciousness. People want to call it the Christ consciousness. I call it the consciousness, the source. Again, the word Christ to me is more of a title, and I don't do titles very well. I just go by what I feel and what I resonate with. I call it a source, a light, a creator. So that's what I think. That a lot of us are on the same, we're all trying to achieve the same goal. We're just going down different paths, but we also have to resonate with each other. There's no reason for these separate groups to be hating each other. We're all trying to achieve the same thing. It kind of reminds me of an analogy here, and I brought a couple times that picture the earth and the people on it are they're lost souls. Each one of us, as a spiritual person, are a cloud. And each one of those clouds are at certain levels of vibrations and frequencies. So as those clouds travel across the earth, sometimes they're there for protection against the sun, against the rain, against all kinds of comets and stuff like that. It's a kind of a shield and a barrier, as we should be. Now, if we're not there, we're not going to be there to bless the earth with the rain. We're not going to be there to bless the earth with our presence. The earth is unprotected, and that's what we should be as spiritual people. Protect the ones that can't protect themselves. Guide them. Don't have to go down there and do it with them. We're only here to guide and assist. Because if we would sit there to do it for them, that would be free. That would break the free will. And we all have our free will to be that life source, that source in general, to have it go through us, or we can be nothingness. And what do you think about that?
I agree. But like you said, I don't think a lot of these groups on here say you got to do everything this way or their way or whatever. We're all different. We all need to find it in a different manner. Is
Yeah.
all we're all going in the same direction and raising our vibrations. And I think you need to listen to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
your higher self, instead of everybody else.
Exactly. And
Listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition.
because if you don't, a lot of people say, well, you don't fit in this group. And I've heard it today. I was only on TikTok 5 minutes, scrolling through two or three different lives. And I heard, well, maybe you don't belong in this group. And I thought to myself for a moment,
Hmm.
you're a spiritual group and you're telling somebody that they don't belong there? You're not supposed to be doing that as a spiritual person. You're supposed to find common ground and to lead them. Even if they don't match a majority of your people, you still have to find a way to be
Mm-hmm.
spiritual with them, you know? This all this separation doesn't make any it makes things worse. And I
You know,
noticed
and I've seen too much judgment. There shouldn't be
yeah,
any judgment going on at all.
no, because only source or God, creator, whatever you want to call it, can judge. We are part of the stream that's going through us. That stream of energy goes through us, and we want to keep that stream pure. We don't want to contaminate that stream by negativity, because if we do, when it comes out the other side, is just going to be negative. We want to push out as much positive as we can. Wow, I am surprised we only have 5 people in here. Ah, so what does anybody have to say about that? Silence. Nobody in the chat.
I guess we're not all that talkative today, huh?
I guess not.
I think Lizzie and I talked ourselves out earlier before the live.
Right? I noticed Diane hadn't shown up. I wonder if something happened with Diane.
I think she shared the live. Hold on. I think she sent it out, like shared it in messaging.
Oh no. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess, because 5 followers is like 5,000. If I can reach the message to 5 people, then so be it.
I said that to you before. If you reach 5 people, and then they reach 5 people, and then they reach 5 people, it flows. It works.
It doesn't matter to me if it's 5 or 5,000, just long as that message of love and light gets out there, and the light flows through them, like it flows through me right here, and we can have a positive stream of light and just keep on going and be that endless cycle. Be that strong ray of light that just keeps on going. And that means you're part of the collective.
What card you got sitting there?
What cards? Well, I
Is that
have
all your cards, or is that just one card?
I've got the Star Dragon cards,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the Star Seed cards.
Beautiful.
And usually when I do the cards, they're pretty accurate, I think. You
Yeah.
know, it all depends. And I have my pendulum out there, which this is the one I made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
that's
works
beautiful.
pretty. And you know, I don't know if anybody else can agree with me, but you know, I think that when you buy a pendulum, it works and all that. But I think when you make your own items, it makes it more stronger. I think, you know,
I like this one.
What one's that? The amethyst?
Hmm.
Yeah, so did you get any alien visitors? What don't
When? Which day?
you
You recognize this, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anytime. Anything to help people to grow, to learn, to ascend, to be that stream of energy, to help everybody. The most important thing we can do is pass the knowledge on, hope it resonates with them, and they stick around. If it doesn't, then then it's not their time to listen to it or be with that.
Yeah, I think it could change too. They may not resonate with you or me or anybody else, but a few months down the road, they may. And
Yeah,
then also, somebody that resonates with you a few months down the road may not. People change and their energy change, their frequencies change, their vibrations change.
yeah, it's like anything else. Like they told me when they gave me that message. That's 7 page message I read. We're a multidimensional, an interdimensional omnipresence, basically. We're everywhere all at once. And like during our lives, some of us that I've heard live the same live on the we live in another reality and you get deja vus. Or you actually go there and you drift off and you're wondering, wait a minute, am I in the same timeline or the same reality?
I tell you what, that sucks when you're in the grocery store and that happens.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Because I've had that happen when I'm out in public, and it's like I see, I'm like in this 3D Earth, but then there's like this overlay of someplace else. And
Yeah.
I'll stand there and I'll get woozy and sometimes dizzy. And I got people standing around me looking at me, and I see other beings, and I'm like, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them because nobody else can see them.
It's like this one time, it's crazy. I went across the street, I seen a car coming. There was no way for the car to turn anywhere. I looked, there's a car. I was like, okay, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. I turn back around, the car's not there. And then I walk across the street, I turn my head again, and the car is on the other side of me. I'm like, wait a minute, how'd that happen? And you're like, wait a minute, did I just jump a reality for a moment? And yeah, trippy
And
stuff like that
pictures
happened.
disappearing. I get pictures disappearing out of my phone. Um, Family members remembering things different than what I remember them.
Oh yeah, my son's mother did that to me. That drives me crazy. I told her, I was like, she's like, well, I think we need to spend time together. So Gabriel, my son, will because he was kind of mean to her a couple of times. So she thought of an idea of where we can spend time together with him, and maybe that'll balance him out. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to that park. She's like, what park? I'm like, the park we went to like about a couple months ago. The park we walked around the park. There was this bridge and there was this lake. It was this lake and these. Remember we walked through the stream? Like there was a stream and a little muddy area, and I'm describing this entire thing to her. Right? She goes, whoa, 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 what park? I'm like, bro. I'm like, bro. I'm like, bro. What are you talking about? We went to the park. And I'm like, because I remember asking me if you wanted to go out to eat after we went to the park. She's like, oh, I don't remember the park. Come on, you're pulling my leg, right? You got to be joking me. Quit messing with me, because I thought she messed around, like joke around. I thought she's joking around like everybody else that I know has these little pranks they do to me, and little funny things. So I'm thinking she's messing with me, but no, she was getting heated because she couldn't remember, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm getting mad now. I'm like, we went in this park like twice. She goes, where was this park? I go, okay, the park was in the town that I live in. It was maybe 5 or 10 minutes away from my town, my house, and it's right here. And I showed her a picture of it. She goes, I don't remember ever going there. I'm like, oh my god, you're driving me nuts with this. So I'm like, am I in another reality? And then I asked my son. I said, do you remember going there? He goes, yeah, I went there with you and mommy. I'm like, she doesn't remember going there. He's like, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't either. She doesn't remember going there. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, the one with Jacob's birthday party. The one we were there with a birthday party. You thought it was a nice park. We should come back and walk around the park. We've done it like 2 or 3 times before. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I go, quit messing with me. But no, she was getting heated because she couldn't remember. Like, she thought I was crazy. So then I went and looked at the parks around here, and I found the park, and I took the screenshot, and I sent it to her like, this park. And I'm like, there's the suspended bridge I told you about, and all this. And I never went there with you. I'm like, what? And to this day, she doesn't remember that park. I have no idea. Wow. I wonder if anybody else is live right now.
Mm.
There must be other people live. Because I don't see many people. Oh, yeah. I see 2 people. That's probably where a lot of people went. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. That's probably where they are. But anyway, you look better with your hair down.
Well, somebody told me I need to quit putting it up because the energy works better with it flying everywhere.
Yeah, it does. It works better. Your energy,
Annoying though.
yeah, your energy goes through your hair and it comes out better. Instead, when you have your hair all balled up, it just goes in a circle and goes nowhere. It does a circle jerk. It doesn't go out. You want to have that energy flow. You want to be that natural. You want to have that natural thing going on.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, like,
All natural. That's why I don't wear makeup. I don't put nothing in my hair. I don't do nothing like that anymore. Well, once in a while I'll put makeup on, but I'll do it for pictures and then take it back on. No. Actually, it's difficult to have it on your face. For me, it's hard to have makeup on my face. It bothers me now. Didn't used to, but that bothers me now when I put chemicals or anything on my face.
do you, what other spiritual things have you experienced?
You mean besides angels and aliens and
Yeah,
ETs and Fae? I
yeah.
mean, I've had Fae with me my entire life. I've been abducted. I've had, seen aliens face to face. I've never seen a UFO though. Still haven't seen a damn UFO. Um,
I've never seen
I've
Gray.
had angels come into my bedroom at night.
I've never seen Grays. You know, I'm always
And I
jealous.
haven't seen a girl.
You know what makes me kind of jelly? Maybe it's a good thing, it's
What?
positive. Everybody sees these round circular UFOs or they see these grays. I have not once seen a round UFO. I have not once seen a gray.
I
I
haven't
have
either.
I have seen all kinds of ships and all kinds of beings, but it's never a damn gray and never a round ship. So,
No, my experience has been with, and I've never seen a ship, never, which is weird. Palladians, reptilians, Syrians. Um, let's think what else. I've had experiences with demons.
yeah, we were talking about that earlier with somebody. I don't know. I don't know if I told you that story. Probably. Where I fought a demon.
No, you didn't tell me that. I mean, I have, but you didn't tell me your story.
Oh, okay. About I used to I used to be with this woman about let me see about 35 years ago. I was with this woman. She, she bugged me. She drove me crazy. She always hung out with the band members with the long hair. She was kind of like a groupie, and she was always a groupie. And I was like, well, I kind of, she kind of bugged me in a way because she was always messing around. I swear she was cheating. So one day, I was getting tired of it because we just moved into this house. So when we moved into this house in a place called Ware, it was the same place where I had to deal with the MIBs, which was another story. We'll probably get to that one tonight too. But this one, with this, with this interesting aspect that um, I went to walk in this house when we first moved in. There was always this black cat with green eyes. There was something with this cat. This cat would not stop looking at me. And it just, looking at this cat, it kind of freaked me out, you know? There was something about this cat. And it annoyed the hell out of me. And it always made me angry. So I tried not to get angry one time when I was coming in and out of the house. And I went over and I tried to pet this cat. This cat would run and hiss at me. But yet it would watch me. No matter what room I was in, no matter what window I was by, this cat would go by that window and watch.
You're freezing up. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, what I was saying is, this cat, no matter where I was, no matter where I was in the house, this cat was always looking at me. And when I looked out the window, it was like staring at me all the time, and it freaked me out. When I would walk down the street or go to the store, it would watch me come down and back. And I tried to get close to it, it would hiss at me and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't like this cat. There's something about this cat. So then I said, all right, fine. So one day, she, the girlfriend I had said, well, I'm going to go out with Joe. You know, he's got a band going on, and I want to go to the band thing, and on blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just go, get out. I know what you're going to, I'm thinking I know what you're going to do anyway. You know, don't even try to hide it. Just go do it, you know? At this point, I didn't care. I just want, I almost thought about, you know, moving out. So, I got pissed and she left. So I went to I shut the doors and locked the doors, and I went to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night for some obscure reason. I woke up. It was before like 12 o'clock. I went to sleep. I woke up and I I locked both of the bathroom door and I locked the bedroom door. And I didn't want her to come in and bother me. And I don't know why I did it. I just woke up and did it. I barricaded the doors with dressers. I put sticks in the window so no one, so she couldn't get in. So basically, she had to run to the house, but she couldn't get into the room. So I go back to sleep. And about as soon as I go back to sleep, I'm in this blackness. I started looking around and sniffing. I could smell an odor. It smelled like sulfur and rotten meat and rotten flesh. And I didn't like the smell. It was kind of putrid. And I'm like, who's there? Who's out there? I'm going to have to edit what I'm saying because it was pretty volatile. I was like, who's out there? What do you want? No answer. I started hearing grunts and growls and hissing. And I thought to myself, well, being the kind of the Christian I was, like, oh, well, this is probably something evil. So I went, all right. So as I'm walking around trying to find my way, see if there was a point to this, a spotlight shows on me when I go, who is there? The spotlight comes down on me. And then I'm hearing more like grunting, cheering, if you know what I mean. There were grunts, but they sounded like they were cheering. And I'm like, all right. What do you want? What's the point of this? What do you what the do you want? And I heard you in a very deep demonic voice. And I'm like, well, I said, that ain't happening, and you can kiss my aspirin. And it got mad. It got, and it started getting, you could hear stomp, stomp, and you could hear it sounded like an audience, and they were like, ooh, stuff like that. And I'm like, this is not good. I got a bad feeling. So then, this thing, his fist comes out. It was about 20 feet high was the fist. And I'm like, oh no. It was using both fists trying to hit me. And I kept dodging it, jumping and rolling. It got mad, so it swung its tail. It had a black wire-ish tail. It came at me. It tripped me. I fell and hit the ground. And I ended up cutting near my eye. It felt like, was it a tear? I don't even know. So, hello, Mel. So then, hold on. So then I was getting really mad. And I'm like, quit playing around. What do you want? Yeah. I'm like, whatever. At this point, and every time I moved, it came at me. So it came at me again with more faster speed punches and this and that. I dodged a lot of them, but the one time it hit me, it knocked me and I slid across it felt like a floor, but it felt like stones, if you know what I mean. Kind of like a sandpaper, it felt like. So I slid across the floor. The light followed me as I slid, and I didn't hit a wall or nothing. I just slid, and then I stopped. I got up, and my mouth was bleeding because I could taste the juices. I said, bring it on, and I'm like, I wasn't giving up. If I'm going down in a blaze of glory. And I didn't know if this was real at this point or a dream, but it sure the hell felt like it was real. Everything felt real to me. So I ran up to where it was, up to kind of a few feet away, and I'm like, "Is that all you got? My grandmother hits harder than you, bit, biatch." So this thing came at me again. It kept swinging. It clocked me in the side of the face, and clocked me in the top of and clocked me right between the eyes. And I hit the ground again. I get up. I'm like, okay, all right, this is not going good at all. So I get up, and I was like, oh God, Spirit, whoever it is, somebody help me, because this is gonna do me in. I had no idea what was going on. I knew that this thing was after me, because no matter what I tried, it just kept getting me. So I got really mad, and I was like, you know what? After I said that, it swinging at me again. It kept missing, and then it came down with its left arm. It was kind of low. I ran up its arm, and I punched it as hard as I could. And as I was punching with my right hand, it looked like there was flames and light. There was a blue light, a white light, and a gold light that surrounded my fist. When I hit that thing in the left side of its eye, it started gushing green out of its eye. And it grunted and threw me off. And I'm like, okay, is that all? It got pissed. It got madder than ever. So it came at me with full force, and it scraped me in a lot of areas. So I came up, and I was like, I got up from that, and I was basically, it looked like I had a bunch of red juice all over me. And I'm like, all right. I said, if I'm going down, you're coming with me. It put its face. It looked at me, and it came like this close to me. I got real mad, and I just, again, my fist had gotten like blue, white, and gold, and I went, and I clocked it right here, and you can see more green coming out this side of the eye now.
You're freezing up.
The green was coming down this side of the eye and this side of the eye. And I'm like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna surrender. So it's not happening. And then it scraped me on the side here. I remember that one. It scraped me, and then I struck and hit it right there again in the same area. It was now really green. And as soon as I hit it the last time, a white light flashed, for entertainment purposes only. A white light flashed, and I'm in a bathtub with police officers around me. I was in a cold bath from what I could see, because everything was foggy. I was foggy as heck, and I don't remember. It was foggy. I looked up, and I could hear police officers and EMTs were there, and I'm sitting in a cold bath. I looked at the water, shocked, like, why am I in water, for one, and who are you people, for the other? And I look, and the water is crimson red, and I felt something wrong with my right side. I'm looked over, and I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? And they didn't answer me. It's like they couldn't hear me. I looked to my right, and it looks like the police officer was holding my right side. the skin was, he was holding my stomach together or something. So, needless to say, they put these little clamps on it to hold it shut. I went to the EMT. The EMTs put me on a They put me on the stretcher. Yeah, they put me on a stretcher. They wheeled me out. They took me to the hospital. I passed out on the way there. I woke up a few days later and I tried to move. I looked down and I had stitches on my arm, on my leg, and this and that. And on top of my head I had stitches and stitches here and here and here and I had no idea what the hell happened. So I'm like, what's going on? And then as soon as I sat there for a minute, and then two police officers came in. He goes, "Hello." He goes, "I'm from the Ware Police Department. We're here for an investigation." He goes, I'm like, "Oh." He goes, "You're Mr. Voles, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What can I do for you?" He's like, "No, what can we do for you? We're here for the investigation. We'd like to know what happened. Do you want to recall? Can you recall can you recall that night's events on June blah 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 blah?" And I'm like, I went to sleep. I barricaded the door and locked the doors. Barricaded the doors. I woke up and I seen the police officer there as I'm in the bathtub with crimson water. And then I'm here. That's all I know. And I'm like, well, he's like, "Nobody did anything to you like this?" I'm like, "Not that I know of." And I go, "Well, what happened when you went in?" And he goes, "Well, we got a call because there was deafening screams, like it sounded like a red rum scene, a red rum scream, and your neighbors called. A lot of neighbors called around the neighborhood, so they sent the police there. So when they got there, they said we had to bust down the front door, and we couldn't get into the bedroom, and so we busted through the door, and it was locked, and we knocked over the dresser." And when we walked in, he said that the mattress was crimson red, and I was laying there in a whole BM. And I'm like, "Did nobody come in?" They're like, "No, there were sticks in the window and all the doors were barricaded. So did you want to harm yourself?" I'm like, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Well, we didn't find anything in the room. We found nothing in the room that could have caused that." I'm like, "Well, I don't know." He goes, "Well, did you do something and then barricade yourself in a room and do that?" I was like, "No, I don't know nothing." And they said, "Well, we also searched the house and we didn't find anything there either that could have caused that." I'm like, I don't know. So they left. I very wasn't going to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I went to sleep and I woke up and I fought a demon in my sleep and it whooped my monkey ass all over the place." No, I wasn't going to tell them that because I know where that would have ended up. They would have went, "You need a couple pills and take a pad of room for that." I'm like, "Nope." So I didn't say anything. So I get out of the hospital. They came back a couple times during that week. So on the 6th or 7th day after they moved me from 2 rooms, from the ICU to the regular room to another room, they released me and I went home. So I'm in the car with her. She's like, "Do you remember what happened?" I was like, "I don't know." She goes, "You know they're blaming me for this, right?" I'm like, and she said, "They pulled me for questioning this and that." I was like, "I don't know nothing." She goes, "Well, I wasn't even in town. I wasn't even in town." I go, "Yeah, I know what you're doing. Shut up." She just didn't say anything because she knew. I knew. And so I walk in the house and I walk into the bedroom. I noticed that the dresser was messed up. The mattress was gone. So she had to get another one. I go, well, where's the mattress? Because I really wanted to see it. I thought she might have said it's outside or something. She goes, no, the police took that for the investigation. I'm like, okay, so that's why we have a new bed? She goes, yeah, I took some of the money and bought a bed. I'm like, oh. So I'm looking down on the floor, and I remember what the officer said, that they picked me up from there and brought me into the tub. So I'm looking down because we had blue lights in that room, and you could see little white spots leading to the bathroom. And then I walked in the bathroom, I look in the tub and go, huh. And you know how you can't really scrub that kind of stuff off the tub? She tried and tried, and some of it came off, but you know, a lot of it didn't, because we didn't have the proper cleaning stuff for that. So here I am in the bathroom. I'm standing in front of the toilet. Above the toilet, there was a window. There was wooden stairs coming down, and there was a little ledge here. And, you know, I'm standing there, going to the bathroom, you know, holding my, you know, and I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm looking down. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden I started feeling something strong, and I felt something was staring at me. I lifted my head up, and there, to behold, in front of me was that effing black cat sitting there looking at me through the freaking window. And this cat had all of this side of its face had like bee stains on it, if you know what I mean. It looked like it got in a rumble. You could see how it was matted, and you could see like the red around its eye and stuff. So I'm like, I'm staring at this cat, and it felt like time froze because I didn't know what to say. I was staring at this cat and like memorized, and I didn't know what to do. Like we locked eyes for like the longest time. She's like, and she was saying something, but it sounded like you blah 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 blah. It was like time had stood still. You know what I'm saying? It's like time was slowed down, and me and this cat were locked eyes, and she was talking in a blah 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 blah, and then she's like, I felt her. I seen her. She starts coming towards me. It looked like she was going in slow motion, and then it hit me, and then I went up. She goes, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was just this freaking cat." And I look up, the cat's gone. She goes, "Where's the cat?" I was like, "I don't know." You know what? I'm moving out. That's what I said. You know what? I'm moving out. I know what you're doing. And what happened to me that other night? No, you're staying here. You can stay here. Hello. Welcome. If you can hit the likes and shares, that'd be great. We need to have more people in here. If you want
This
to get
cat
me,
keeps
that's
trying
great.
to rub on that.
And
And this cat keeps
I was like, peace the F out as I took the next morning, I took what I could with my one hand. I started flinging my stuff out the front door. I called one of my other friends. We loaded up the car and I moved to my own apartment. And then when I was doing that, that cat went to the front of the house, stared at me as I left. And I'm like, there ain't no freaking way I'm ever going to deal with that cat again.
I
And
know cats like you.
that was the
This cat keeps
story.
trying to rub on the phone.
Yes, and that was a story about the evil demon cat. That was that story.
Can you say hi?
And that is a pretty
He keeps
kitty.
trying to rub on the phone.
He's a pretty kitty,
You know he likes to say
right? So
he always rubs on the phone when I talk to him.
that was that story about the cat. and the demon. And ever since then, I've never had to deal with them. They never wanted to mess with me after that.
My experience with demons is a whole lot different than yours.
And to this day, I still
I,
have them scars, by
most,
the way. Just so
yeah, mine wasn't like that. They actually tried to avoid me. They were attached to somebody I knew, which I detached them from that person. The funny part is the person that bound them to the one that I knew, her name was Sonia too, which was kind of freaky. And it was like over 20 years ago from that point I met that person, but they actually like would not make eye contact with me. It's a whole lot different. It's almost like I could see them, it's plain as day, just like looking at another person.
yeah.
But when I try to look at them, or if they were looking at me, I'd look at them, they'd look away. It's like they try to avoid any kind of interaction with me whatsoever. So, but then I did get rid of them. But yeah, but yeah, my interaction was not violent whatsoever. If anything, is like I don't know, it's hard to explain. They just didn't want no part of me. If I looked at them, they'd look away. They didn't like looking at me. They didn't like have anything to do with me, and they
And,
tried to avoid me.
if I remember correctly, they always came at me when I was younger. When I got about 20, I kept having like I remember I fought that, and then it was I. It's funny because when I under 20, under the age of 21, I think. Oh wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. Under the age of 25, I could never get anybody that wants to read me. No, I went into psychic places. They would kick me out. They wouldn't want to read me. They would close. Anytime I was dating somebody that wasn't a Christian, that was more, or the only time I've ever was able to date anybody that was very atheist or Christian, because a lot of the spiritual people would say that my energy and my abilities are out of this world. And I've tried to date certain people in certain countries, and because I went and traveled certain countries and certain people, and they wouldn't, because they was like, your energy is like off the charts. And they were always afraid, because my energy was off the charts, that I would bring negativity to them people, because I'd make them like a lighthouse, and they would call in the negative beings to them. And they didn't want that, so I got pushed off. And then when I went to get psychic readings, they would like shut the door or tell me they're closed, or they were really rude. They were all really rude. Get out. One lady, I remember one time, I'm like, yes. I walk in, the door, you know how the door jingles when you walk in? I'm like, yes, I like to have a reading. She gets out from behind the counter, escorts me out the door.
I can't hear.
She escorts me outside. Hold on.
Go ahead, get somebody else up here because I got to step out for a little bit.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you're still up in about an hour, I'll
I don't
get back up.
know. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but I will talk with you later.
All right.
All right. Bye, dear. How do I get myself? Oh.
Well, that was interesting. So, how was everybody down there? Doesn't look like anybody wants to come up or show up in a live or talk in this box, so I'm probably going to go for another 30 minutes. But yeah, that was the experience with the demon, and a lot of those psychics would not read me because they said my man, blah blah blah, and I'm like, whatever. And I was never really one to deal in I call it mysticism back then. I wanted to learn about it, but nobody would give me a chance on it. So I figured the only way I'm going to learn is if I have to do it myself. And that's why I've always said that look within yourself, because nobody else was willing to listen to me. Nobody was willing to talk to me about the spiritual stuff that I had going on. So I did. I looked within myself and I found the answers, and I dealt with it for years and years and years. And then when I came on TikTok, a lot of people, I found a lot of people like me that had these experiences in the spirituality, that was able to share what had happened to me, because for so long I've had all this stuff happen and I couldn't say anything about it because, you know, if you talk about certain things, people would think you're backcrack crazy. So when I came here and I met certain individuals, I trusted them and I gave them my heart, my soul, you know, I gave it my all. And I looked at everybody as a brother and a sister, and you know, it kind of, you know, broke my heart when I was betrayed by certain people. But I learned that it was only a stepping stone to be that greater person. So I basically believe now that we all should look within ourselves and just look for others as guidance. And if you have questions, like, find somebody that resonates with you, that's like-minded like you, so you can share your story. That's why I have this live, is for people to share their stories. I don't want them to be like I was, where I had no one to express these to. I had no one to share my stories with. That's why I have my lives, you know, because we all have that heartbeat within us. We all have that light within us. We all want to make this line shine. And the only way we're going to make this light shine, is to be who we are, be our authentic selves. And, you know, some people hide behind a camera to do it. If that helps them, then so be it. You know, because we all need to let some of the stuff go to grow and learn. And if you don't have that outlet and someone to express these to, then you're not going to progress. You're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to have yourself being on a steady stream and not growing and not accepting who you are and being your authentic self at all. Instead, you're just going to be in complete darkness, wandering around, wondering where you belong in that big puzzle of the universe that's out there, you know. And if you listen to the wrong people, you're going to be a carbon copy of them, and you're just not going to fit in, because there's 5 of the same puzzle piece. It's not going to only fit. You're not going to fit in that one hole. Somebody's already got it because they were there first. That's why we need to be our unique selves to fit in a greater puzzle, you know. And a lot of us don't do that. But we're learning, and we're progressing through life, and we're shaping ourselves like we're shaping the puzzle piece. We're shaping ourselves to fit into that puzzle. As we're fitting into our lives, we grow in certain aspects that we need to In certain aspects, we need to adjust, tone, and balance. And when we have that balance within inside of us, we'll become a most beautiful puzzle piece that fits in that great puzzle. And once we join the collective of light, we'll be bright and shining. If we're that faded light and that unshaved piece, you're just not going to fit in anywhere. And that is our job as spiritual people, to guide these people in that light, to have them shape themselves like that special puzzle piece that fits in. We need to do that, because if we don't, then we're no better than the evil ones out there doing all that. These evil beings come out, and these evil entities come out, and they do all that. They want to stop you. They don't want you to be part of that collective. They want you to join the other collective. And that is a collective of bad and negative and low vibration. You don't want to do that at all. You want to be your authentic self and to raise that vibration in that light. Thus you will grow into being a better being. And you could look to the stars. Yes. You can wonder what's out there. You can. You can look and know in your heart that there's a lot of beings out there, because they're there. I've seen them. But you don't have to take my word for it. They're there. All you have to do is raise your vibration and have that love and frequency inside of you to grow and to expand your mind to a greater perspective. Because if you're on that straight and narrow pathway, you won't see what's on the side of you at all. You'll miss everything. That's why when you have your eyes, that's why you get your eyes, that's why your eyes move. They move left and right, so you can see all around you, what's in front, what's on the side. That's why your head moves, so you can look to the left and right. Do you need to worry about what's behind you? No, not really, because that's the past. You don't need to worry about that. You need to look to that future and make it brighter, because what's in front of you is the most important. The reason why everything's left behind is left behind for a reason. That's why when you're in a relationship, you don't go back to the next. You're an ex for a reason. The reason why you left a certain group or a certain group of people is there's a reason. You don't need to go back to that, because you're growing and growing and growing. That is what makes you greater. You don't need to look back. Like I said, there's a reason why they were ex. There's a reason why you left those groups. Because you're better. You might not have resonated with them back then either. So, maybe you raise yourself into a higher light, a higher frequency. You changed. Like our humans' emotions change us to make us better. Sometimes they make us negative. And we don't want to focus on that negative. You want to focus on the positive. But the key essential thing is everybody wants to put down the negative. And that's great. You can push down that negative. But you also, that negative's there for a reason. That negative energy's there because it needs to be. Because some of these beings that are here are only doing it because it's their contract and what they have to do. And with doing that, that makes us better. It helps us learn. It tells us what we need to do, what we not need to do. And that will help us ascend into a greater existence too. Accepting that balance. Because if you're just a pure light, you're useless. If you're a complete darkness, you're useless. You need to have that balance as a human, as a spatial being. You need that balance. If you don't have that balance, what good of you? Because, in order to know the darkness, you had to have been through the darkness. In order to help the light, you need to be in the light. That's why we have the balance. Hello, lady Yaya. And how are you? Nobody else decided to come in here besides Sonia and a few others. I've been waiting for everybody else to show up. I've been sitting here talking to myself for like 10 minutes now. In the beginning of the live, I talked to myself for an hour. It must be a slow day on Sunday. I thought people would be tired of hearing my voice and run away. Probably already run away. It's great to have you here. Yeah. Michelle, it's great to have you here. I was just talking about, the spiritual things. We were talking about what it means to be spiritual. And why would anybody want to be spiritual? And I think that being spiritual helps you cope with your life and how you deal with certain aspects of it. It also helps you in understanding how emotions feel, how people feel, because you're just not accepting one point of view. You've got to look at all points of view. And when you're at that light and a certain height in that light, you will realize and see certain perspectives of things. Like I was saying, do you want to be that light that never shine out, or you want to be that big, bright light? And like I said earlier, I was thinking about this picture and how it was a dragon. And I'm like, why is this light going through there? It drives me crazy. And I said, well, I looked at it. It's the source of light that's ever continuing through us. Because I am a golden dragon. That light goes through us. It's never ending. And it can burn bright like we should burn bright. We should let that light travel through us. And when it comes out our back, we want to have it be positive, not a negative light. So if anybody else wants to come in the box, because I'm running out of things to say to myself here. Well, it probably thinks I'm going to leave in 15 minutes because... there's a ton of people online, so that's causing a 4 or 5 person viewing system here. That's why I'm saying to some people that it's going to be pretty interesting if they're going to try to pick Sundays. I know they tried to steal Tuesdays and Thursdays from me, but hey. I didn't know you did it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. No, you've only known for 2 years that I do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Would you suddenly have amnesia? Were you in the wrong timeline? I know the timeline I was in with you that I done told you. Everybody knows I do it. I post it all the time. Excuse me. But, I don't look at it as a negative thing. I think it's hilarious. And I think that, they want to copy me. I think it's flattering, honestly. You want to copy my days. You want to, take my ideas. Flattery. I heard imitation's the best way of flattery. So I'm honored. I'm honored that you want to take those days. Because you know what? And at the end of the day, that's just going to make me better and better and better. And that's all I ever wanted, was to be better than I was the day before. Because each day I'm growing, and I could help more and more people. So by you doing that, you kind of gave me honor. Yeah, that's how I look at it. That's why I'm not mad. I think it's hilarious. And we each want to do our thing in the spiritual realm. And all of us being separated will give different advice and different things is good. But we also, at the end of the day, we're all trying to achieve a common goal. It's not to line our pockets with money. It's not to have some occult. It's about helping the people that need the help. It's helping them in their lives. The smallest thing in their lives will change them. So, in answering magical questions and giving them false answers, that's not really helping them at all. They want answers. They came looking for answers. Is that the answer you're going to give them? A falsehood? Or you want to give them the reality, the truth? Sometimes truth, it's truth, you know? You have to deal with it. You know, truth is not always beautiful in a bed of roses. Sometimes it's harsh. And yes, I might be talking and preaching to two people, but you know what? It's whatever. I wish we had more people in here. But still, I'm going to do what I was called to do. People can come and go, but I'll always be there. I will be there to speak the truth. Show people the light. To show them how positive I can be. That we all need to embrace and empower each other. Because that's what we're called to do. I just think it's a shame that I've only got 3 people in here and not enough people to hear this message. To hear my messages. It's a shame. Because, you know, I do have a lot to offer people and I have a lot to learn that I could share with them. I could probably resonate and help them. But, you know, I'm at 3 people. Well, that's the only sad part about it. Because I'm going to keep trucking with or without people. It's great to share this with everybody. I have often wondered why should I waste this time talking about the spirituality, because I'm called to do it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, thousands. That's just the annoying part for me, is there's not enough people in here to hear the message. Maybe that's a sign. People on Sunday ain't ready, or they're busy doing something. That could be the sign too. But whatever, I'm going to do all that I can to help this one individual that might pass that message on to somebody else. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what I'm called to do. Does anybody in this live have anything to say? Because there's only 2 people. Well, anyway, I'm still going to post this on YouTube. Even if I got 2 people. Because the message is important. As every message is. Well, we got 10 more minutes. Let's see what happens. I think a lot of people are in other people's lives too. Because a lot of spiritual people are on today. Or some that, you know, proclaim to be spiritual. Either way, a lot of people on. Well, actually, from what I see, that there's a lot of people. There's only one person on that I know of that's talking spirituality. It looks like everybody else is doing different things. Maybe it's a busy day. Maybe they're spending time with their families and stuff. But I don't see anybody on. There must be somebody that I don't know. But it's been a wonderful live. Even though we're 2 or 3 people. still got my message out. I'm happy for that. It's going to be posted on YouTube. So, yes, thank you for sticking it out. I hope I wasn't too boring there for the last two people in here. I hope that you gained some knowledge and perspective in this. Did you learn anything? Well, have a good night. Thank you for coming.